We're gonna get our shit.
Oh, cause it's blinking.
Oh, it's blank. Cause it's blank for the blank.
Blinking Park.
R.I.P. Chester from Linkin Park.
Was that the lead dude?
Yeah.
What, he died or committed suicide? You don't remember? What's his name?
Chester.
Lead singer from Linkin Park, Chester. Lead singer from Linkin Park, Chester.
I don't know who the vocalist is in Linkin Park, Chester.
I'll just start this shit over. That shit is stupid.
Lead vocalist for Linkin Park.
According to Wikipedia, Chester Charles Bennington was an American singer, songwriter, and occasional actor.
So he's dead? You know that dude is related to the Rothschilds, right?
Oh, yeah?
I seen this picture where it showed him, his daddy, and his granddaddy, and all the motherfuckers look exactly alike. And I was like, what the fuck?
Huh.
Splitting image. Like, almost like, it was an asexual birth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Suicide by hanging.
Damn.
But here's the thing, man. Like,
what the fuck would make a person want to hang themselves, man? God damn. Guilt? Like, I mean, would a hanging suicide be linked to guilt?
what started off Linkin Park?
Okay.
Blinking.
Blinking Park.
Right?
Blinking Park!
It's blinking. That means we're starting.
Park! Blinking Park!
Blinkin Park. Blinkin Park. R.I.P. Chester.
Bennington?
Went off too soon. Yeah, Bennington.
Yeah, he hung himself out to dry a little bit.
Oh, don't say that. I don't even think that's true, but I think he was killed, bro. I think.
I didn't even know he was dead, bro. Like, cause I mean, like I told you, I seen the picture and shit, but like, that was comparing, him and his paps and grandpaps and shit. I didn't even know he was dead.
Yeah.
Damn.
Rothschilds.
I think that's what it was. Like, I'd have to go back and look and see where I found it, but I think that's what it was.
Chester Bennington was related to the Rothschilds. Yeah. I'll have to look that up.
Speaking of Rothschilds.
Well, hold on.
I'm sorry,
because
go ahead.
Chester, I mean, this is off topic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but Chester, Chris Cornell, and Paul Walker all had a similar tie, which was trying to do relief work in Haiti. Versus
I already see the connection there.
versus the Clinton family.
Yeah. I already saw the connection.
You don't come over there and try to relief work over our relief work. We're freedoming here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Watch. That's gonna be a thing. Watch. That's gonna fucking be a thing. We're freedoming now.
right, we're freedoming here. Get out.
Yeah.
But anyway, like,
That's crazy.
but yeah, that starts the beginning of our show. And I just wanted to jump on. We're already on some topics, man. But let's just jump on a hot button topic here because I was just reading through the Sports Illustrated.
Is it the swimsuit edition?
No. It's just Sports Illustrated. I don't even know. Do they do swimsuit edition still?
I don't know.
They probably
I
do.
haven't looked at a Sports Illustrated magazine and I don't know how fucking long, so I don't know.
But this is June 2021, so...
Okay, so it's recent.
Yeah. No excuses. Why it's time to buy in on the WNBA.
Okay. Why is it time? What do you think? Because like you don't watch basketball at all.
And the reason you haven't are flawed. Well, I thought you said this was something you could tear apart.
Oh, I can, but I'm just asking you what you think real quick because I know you don't watch basketball, so your thoughts on it are going to be completely objective.
Yeah, I just think that I don't watch sports.
Okay, but we're talking about basketball in particular, so let's just narrow it down.
Not only do I not like sports and stuff like that, but I'm into music and stuff, and I like female singers. Ooh. And I think some female singers make way more than male singers, and that's okay.
You know what's funny that you mentioned female singers? Like I can't put a start date on it, but what I've noticed lately, like I've been much more in tune and attuned. Like when I, hop in the car or turn on my, put on my AirPods or turn on my speaker, whatever and shit. I've been listening to females a lot more. You know what I mean? I can't say that there was any reason behind it, but I noticed that, and it's shit been vibing with me, man.
Yeah, actually, for the last couple of weeks, I've been learning some new songs by the artist known as Sia. So I've been into kind of the woman's frame of head as I'm doing. Because I mean, really, it is a very feminine frame of mind. Like the songs, you know what I mean? Like they're real vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so, putting yourself in that position, it's kind of outlandish. As being a dude, it's kind of like you're in the outworld. You know what I mean? Like trying to feel those feelings. But when you do feel them, it's like insane the way you feel them. But I think that kind of ties into this whole thing. Because they're in another world. They're in the world of basketball, right?
Yeah.
And even though they are surrounded by other women, doing their thing.
You're talking about specifically players.
The WNBA, yeah.
We're talking about specifically the players.
Right. It's a group of women, so they're surrounded by each other.
Yeah, there's no trans women involved yet. Go ahead.
But they are blanketed over. They are blanketed over by the entirety of basketball.
Yeah.
NBA.
Yeah. Well, basketball in general. Yeah.
Well, just the fact that it's called the WNBA and not just NBA.
Right. Well, you think they should have gone with a different name than the Women's National Basketball Association?
I mean,
even though they receive funding from the NBA every fucking year.
Yeah, I don't know what they should have done about that. I'm just saying that just calling
out what is.
Right now, I'm pointing out certain obvious things that make me either sympathetic or non-sympathetic. So one of the things is that they are under the NBA, but they're not the NBA. Because there's a whole extra letter there. It is a 4-letter word, you know what I mean? Or a 4-letter acronym is what they're known by.
Yes.
The NBA is known by a 3-letter acronym that does not have a W, and it's just NBA.
Correct.
That's a whole organization in itself.
Yes.
So you would think if the NBA didn't want that to happen, they could just shut it down. They could say, no, you're not the WNBA.
Yeah.
You can't use NBA.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it would go about, but they definitely allowed them to be part of the group. Now, are they pulling in the revenue? Are they selling tickets?
Compared to the NBA?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That's all that matters then. How much money can you make?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make money here?
Yeah,
right?
because it's a business. It's a business before anything else.
Right. Now, we could get into the logistics of, do all the NBA players hold up their weight and make their money? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's an obvious no.
That's a whole thing going on there.
Yeah.
And I do believe that there's a certain amount of goals that NBA players have to reach to make their money. Whereas the WNBA is guaranteed their paycheck.
I don't know about their paychecks being guaranteed, but I know NBA contracts are guaranteed.
Right.
That much I do know.
So, do they factor bonuses and all that into the contracts, or is that something
that's just, that's more contract specific language depending on what you or your agent negotiates in the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's the potential for it is definitely there. You know what I'm saying?
So
I would like to believe it would be the same thing for the WNBA players as well. I would like to.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that they just run on a straight blanket payment system, which guarantees them like a set amount of money. You know what I mean? They negotiate how much money they make, and they get that set amount of money. With the NBA players, they negotiate an all-around possibility, and here's the guarantee, but also maybe this.
Here's the thing. When you say guaranteed, like anybody that's a sports fan, the way they're going to interpret that is whether you're on the team from the beginning of training camp to whenever your season is over, or, you know what I'm saying, you were on the team from the beginning of training camp and you got cut in February. February. You know what I'm saying? If your contract is guaranteed, whatever money you're still owed on that deal, you're still getting paid. That's guaranteed.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's a salary. That's your salary for the whatever the year is, the season.
Okay, but they got to hear me out. But that's like, but depending on how, because this is why like sports contracts are a little different. You know what I mean? Because it's like, let's say you signed.
We're going way down a rabbit hole.
I'm helping you understand how the guaranteed works. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care about. I'm just saying, like,
because remember, because you mentioned bonuses,
right? But
that's
why did I
important.
even say that women are guaranteed something over men? I forget.
I don't remember either.
Right.
Like, all I was saying was I don't know if they have guaranteed contract. Like if they get cut, you might not be getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Like for NBA players, it's a little different. Like all right, let's say you negotiated a 5-year contract for $50 million, right? So by simple math, that would mean $10 million a year, right? But
It doesn't matter, man. And I know that you just said it. You don't know.
WNBA, but just the whole point I'm trying to make is NBA players definitely make way more than the women players.
That's
Even the
fine.
last nigga on the bench getting paid more than the biggest star in the
And
NBA.
that was so easy to say.
Okay, well it's been said.
So easy. And I'm just so lost right now, like, because I don't even know the numbers, how much somebody makes times 10%. I don't give a fuck about all that shit.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, if they get fucking a set amount in their contract that they're guaranteed to make,
Yeah.
no matter what happens,
Okay.
there's also a certain amount they can make extra.
Again, that goes back to how do you negotiate the deal.
But it's standard negotiation practices for the NBA.
If it's not written in that motherfucker, you don't get it. Like the only bonus money you get if it's not written
But
to
do
your
you
contract.
understand what I'm saying by standard
do.
negotiation
Yes.
practice?
Yes,
It would
standard.
be written in the contract. So for you to be like, if they don't write it in the contract, is redundant. It will be written in. That's what I'm saying.
No, for some, but not for all. Like for example, the last chick on the bench on what is that? The Las Vegas whatever. You know what I'm saying? She probably doesn't have guaranteed money in her contract. You understand what I'm saying? But whoever she is, she might, because she's front and center on the cover. She might.
Right. She might be the star of the show.
But look, this is what's going on with the WNBA, man. And I've seen this being pressed for a while. Like there is, like I can't call out specific names because I really don't pay attention that much, but I see what I see. There is a couple of WNBA players in particular that have been upset and clamoring that they should make just as much money as the men because they do all the same shit as the men, even though they don't play as many games. They don't make nowhere near in the realm or ballpark of tickets, TV money and all of that shit. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to justify getting the same money if the product is not the same.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that it's all about local loyalty. So if you don't have people that give a fuck about basketball in your area, especially women's basketball, then you're not going to have much going at all.
I'm gonna tell you something. The people that could make the WNBA successful are heterosexual men that watch basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those are the ones that can make the WNBA successful when it comes to all the money, right? But see,
Are you saying heterosexual men have
Men.
all the money?
no, I'm not saying they have all the money, but heterosexual men like women. You know what I'm saying? And if you like basketball, you know what I mean, that would be very attractive to you to see a woman that you think is, beautiful, pretty, sexy, hot, whatever the fuck you want to say, and she balling. You know what I'm saying?
But-
that would be
but-
attractive to you.
Actually, that would be. It's weird because I think there is a difference between like the white community and the black community in that. Is that like black dudes are way more attracted to chicks that are tougher and more like them, as opposed to like white dudes want a girl who is the polar opposite. I want a girl who fantasizes about being a princess. You know what I mean? Like I want a girl who calls on me for my every whim. And I'm not saying me specifically,
Yeah.
but that's the white mentality. And women try to live up to that.
Okay.
You know?
Right, but
Actually, the women I've been with haven't been like that, so I'm not like that. But I'm just generalizing what I see between the white version and the black version.
okay.
That there's that
Okay,
difference.
that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But also remember, there's Hispanic, Latino, Asian,
Mhm.
Middle Eastern, Indian, all of that shit.
Almost all of who like want their women to be small, petite, like, and like not like in your face.
I can't speak for all the different cultures on what they prefer in their women. I just can't. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can't speak
even
for every man,
no,
but I can generalize.
I got you, but see, what I'm saying is I can't even generalize all those because I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying?
You haven't been around the block? How old are you, man? How many people have you met in your life?
Lots, all over the fucking melting pot. But what I'm saying is I haven't, either paid attention to or immersed myself enough in all of the cultures that were mentioned to be able to speak from a solid foundation. Like, yeah, I've seen this amount of men that's like this, and this is what they prefer.
Right.
For some of those, I can't speak on.
I've seen like white dudes, just like in Napoleon Dynamite, skinny white dude who likes to fucking like huge black girl. He just wants to jump inside of her titties and just hide in there, be safe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just be safe and hand me some M&Ms or something, and I'll be good in here.
Like a kitten sitting in a little pouch.
Right. That's he likes that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've been with woman of color. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She was kind of like small though and protect me type. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've never really been with the bruiser, like a girl that's good at ball, who owns a pair of shoes, wears her socks up to here when she balls. She got some shorts and a tank and braids, and she just balling her ass off. I respect the person like that for their work ethic and all of that. Mm-hmm. But if we're talking about like a man's like being attracted to somebody in order to bring it in, I don't think that basketball would be the most attractive thing. Taking another step further, football. A woman covered in pads, just beating the shit out of each other, getting muddy. It takes a special guy to like that.
Lingerie league exists, bro.
Yeah, right?
It exists.
And you know what?
It exists,
and
man.
I wonder how much money it makes.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't
know. You know what I mean? Do you think it makes more than the WNBA?
Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But like the thing about it is like, just listen to what I said. The lingerie league. Like, you know what I mean? Like my nigga, you doing too much. Plus, you know what I mean? Like, and the thing
is
just
porno.
Basically. With some hitting and all that bullshit, but I don't even want to count that crap, bro.
You can't count it. That's like they can have the lingerie league. They can
I know, but I'm saying, but you brought it up.
Lightsaber league.
But you brought it up because, like, when you compare football and shit, bro, like the way football is supposed to be played, man. Like I'm talking about, bro, unless you got like a bunch of Samoan women who are just big and burly, you know what I mean, and like, you know what I mean. Some Amazon chicks and shit that are big, that are gonna hit the fuck out of each other. Nobody's gonna watch it. You know what I mean? And that's part of the issue with the WNBA.
Also, let me tell you what I was. How they say the Spartans were like. Not only did they fight naked, they were like homosexuals with each other and everything on the battlefield.
Homosexual on the battlefield
at night and shit. Like they would all cuddle up together at night. It was a weird situation. Now they beat the shit out of
cuddling,
literally,
or huddling.
You know
what I mean? Because cuddling. See, okay, then yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying. But if you're like huddling,
I said cuddling.
I got you. I'm just being specific.
Then I said snuggling.
Yeah, I know. But if you're on the battlefield, huddling, if you're on the battlefield and you're huddling together to create like a large large pocket of warmth. Like at night, how you say it? That's a different beast than cuddling or snuggling.
Right, but frequently men fell in love with each other. Okay. And they had their war lover and then they had their home lover, which was their wife and everything.
Okay.
But they would have a guy on the battlefield with them. And the reason that would happen is because they would be around each other so much, doing all these impressive things, that they just started to desire what they saw around them all the time. Okay. Same rules apply with the WNBA. They are around these bruisers all the time, and these chicks who are like, "I'll fuck you up if you fuck with me."
But see, that's not how basketball is at all, though, bro.
And they are all so in love with each other, man. Like they may got dudes, like I said, dudes on time, but they love like scissoring each other in the locker room.
Here's the thing: you haven't watched the WNBA game, bro. So
I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about them in the locker room with each other.
I can't say what the fuck goes on in the females' locker room, bro.
I'm talking about, but that's what's interesting to me.
I ain't never been in there with all of them, so how the fuck can I speak to that?
That's what's interesting to me. Hey, I mean, I've seen firsthand some of the some of the side effects of
gotta-
what happens around girls
gotta-
who hang out all together and do like masculine things together. They fall in love with each other.
You consider playing any type of sport as something masculine?
Yeah, especially like a sport where you're like using a lot of like strength and energy and all that fitness and all that. It is masculine. It's a masculine mentality.
I feel like you're stretching.
General,
Like, especially
no,
especially for somebody that don't even watch sports.
if exactly, I don't watch sports
Yeah.
because I have a different mentality.
You
I'm
know-
not a super masculine. I'm not an alpha male. You know what I mean? When I see a good sports thing happen, when I see a good version of somebody shows me a clip, oh look at this golf shot. I'm like, damn, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. But I'm not immersed in that. I don't surround myself with other jocks.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm not on Instagram taking pictures of my own like muscles being like, "Oh, look how sexy that is." Why do you think that's sexy? You as a man should just be what you are and not ever think about yourself as sexy because that makes you slightly homo.
Okay, so now we're talking about men again. I thought we were talking about the women's basketball.
It goes back to being. I'm just because you didn't quite understand what I was saying about that. I had to take it to the brothers level, like men on the field. We're brothers in battle. You know what I mean? Like women, they have that same thing going on, dude.
But see, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Like I said, man, it's hard to take what you're saying seriously at all because you're not in tune with sports at all, right?
You don't think there's lesbians in the WNBA?
Of course there is. Just like there's gay dudes in basketball. Of course there is.
But they're
But
super
whatever.
flamboyant and
But
it's obvious.
whatever, man. I don't even give a fuck about that. Like, nigga,
Why are you so mad about
No,
this?
I mean just because like I'm confused as why you're making this a homosexual thing when we're talking about why it's time to buy into the league.
Because it seems to me that like a lot of the because what you said
What does-
was
what
that
does
we could
sexual
make men
orientation have
we
to
could
do?
make white rich men pay into the WNBA if they knew that there was sexy women in there. And what I'm saying is there's not going to be sexy women in there because they're all mostly homosexuals and they try to look like men. They get tats, they wear rose,
Some do.
mostly.
Nigga, you don't even watch the shit. So how can you say that?
Why do you think I don't watch it? I've watched it. I've never. It's not like
Well,
I've never watched a game ever.
You reaching real far, bro. Like just I can't take you seriously with what you're saying, bro.
You don't think that like literally what I just said makes sense?
No,
that you
I'm
can't
not-
get a bunch of
I'm
men
not-
to find them attractive and buy in.
I'm not saying that like what you're describing that they have some lesbians that want to look like men and all this shit don't fucking play. Sure there are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But the league is not dominated by that.
Really?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Like, I
don't know, man.
You see tattoos on any of them chicks right there? None. Actually, I'm lying. A couple.
And I'm saying like,
Okay. But like, so you don't find tattoos on a chick sexy either?
oh no, not really. I mean, because really, what I find sexy about a woman is her mentality.
Okay.
And when I see people like trying hard for attention, I always think, it's a kid. It's like a child mentality. I like regret
So how do you feel
some of
about-
my tattoos. I wish I could just get a lot of that shit removed.
Mm-hmm.
But some of it is like reminds me of like my dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm like gonna keep certain things, but like
Okay. Her ink's pretty small. How you know that it doesn't have significance to her?
it probably does. It's probably the name of her daughter or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So what's the problem?
What do you mean? What's
just,
the problem?
Just the fact that it's there?
No, you are bringing attention to
Right.
if tattoos are the
Like,
issue. It's
no,
not
no,
the issue.
No, I'm saying no. What I'm saying is like you don't.
I don't
find-
give a fuck
you
if a
don't
girl
find-
wears tattoos. I don't find it attractive.
Okay, like just at all. Period. I don't
No, it's, you know what it reminds me of? The orcs of Mordor. Like, I'm just all scarred up and running around at you with dark splotches all over me. Like, okay, whatever. Like, that's fine. I mean, I prefer like the full feminine form, in my opinion. But then again, I like long hair, beautiful breasts, high heels, and dresses. You know what I mean? They might put that shit on sometimes, right? But that's not their life. That's not who they are. They're fucking balling all day. They're trying to get their shit together. They're hooping.
Okay.
They might have their little side piece or whatever, but your sport's gotta be your life. You know? The reason that we buy into the men's doing it more than we buy into women doing it, is because white, rich men enjoy seeing each other beat the shit out of each other. They enjoy seeing men being able to do things for some reason. Not only that, Black people too,
You know, it's
who
funny.
made the NBA like famous.
See, here's the thing. When you say grown men beat the shit out of each other,
Right.
then it becomes football, because that's not how basketball is, bro. Like, fuck are you talking about?
We love seeing them bows, dude. We love seeing somebody fly over somebody's neck. We love seeing somebody get fucked up. We love it.
That's football.
It's
shit don't
fucking
happen in
basketball.
that shit doesn't happen in basketball. What the fuck you talking about? Like, what,
All
niggas
right.
just
Yeah,
jumping clothesline a nigga and shit till he busts his ass? That shit doesn't happen.
People could be getting fucked up in basketball. I've seen plenty of fucking reels, reel after reel of fucking like vicious bows, motherfucking It's all about the male like dominant spirit. It's who can dominate on this field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't really have to be violence per se or kicking ass. I mean, if you get stuck on like one word as opposed to like the spirit of the text,
It's semantics, bro. Because you know what I mean, because you understand, bro. Like the aggressive nature, like, and the thing is, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, especially when you use the word dominate, I absolutely agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely agree with you. But like when you start talking like the physical violence and shit, like that's when it's specifically football and rugby. Like I've watched rugby and like
Hockey.
like Aussie Football League, bro. They fuck each other.
Hockey.
Up. Yes.
hockey,
Like,
it's the
that's
one.
that's the only sport. That's the only sport where they allow fighting. See, that's the one right there. But see, to your point, like out of the NFL, the NBA, National Hockey League, and Major League Baseball, where do you think National Hockey League is ranked as far as overall wealth between those four?
Wealth?
Overall wealth value as a league.
Okay, and we're talking right now because things are about to break. But NFL,
Just 1, 2, 3, and 4.
what I'm going to say historically speaking, NFL top, right?
Even though it hasn't been around as long, but yes, go ahead.
NBA second,
Yes.
baseball third,
Yep.
hockey fourth.
And baseball been around the longest.
Right. But no, hockey's actually been around forever. They've been playing hockey like since.
But here though,
Yeah, it's a Canadian thing. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. And if you
Hockey's
go
cool as shit, man.
and that's the difference. So
Hockey's
if you
cool
go
shit.
over to Canada, hockey
Is the thing.
Football.
Yeah, just like everywhere, like pretty much everywhere else in the fucking world, it's football or soccer.
Soccer.
You know what I'm saying?
Football.
Yeah.
Football.
Football. Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be
Not
confused
football.
with football.
Yeah. Football.
Yeah.
Now, but see, like in Spanish countries and shit, but if they're talking about the NFL, they'll either just say NFL or they'll say Fútbol de Americana,
Really?
like American football.
Well, why not say football?
Yeah, I know. I know.
I mean, we can split it up. I can say football and football. I guess it's just sometimes it's hard for some people to go into that like Amazon Alexa mode, like hello, English. You know what I mean? English as a second language. Second language. No, second. Not second. You know what I mean? It's like,
No.
oh shit. I'm saying American languages is pretty like drawl unless you do some spice on it. Like when we laugh
English?
during speaking, that adds a little spice to the words. You know what I mean? But actually, all I did was just say it adds a little spice to the words. Do you know what I mean? But because I was laughing a little bit, it had a little spice. You know what I mean? Like, whereas in other countries, it's literally like their languages are just. Some languages. You know what I realized today while I was putting books on my shelf? Like from this angle, I was like, man, if I was in another country and I was in charge of inventing books, I would make them go left to right so you could see them better. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't see the back of the book on my shelf. And I was thinking maybe that's just how they invented left to right language. They were like, whoa, you know, writing was not only considered a way of communication, but an art form in itself.
Like calligraphy.
Right. All throughout the world, like anybody who wrote also wanted to be an artist. You know what I mean? About it.
Yeah.
They tried to make it beautiful. Except for commerce, like buying and selling cows. But here in the
Even
United
down to how they print the numbers and shit on the money.
Yeah, here in the United States, man, we have like no, like our language and our writing is so blank that you can fit 1 million fonts on it. You know,
Yeah.
how many fonts can you put on Israeli language or on the Kazakhstan, like how many different fonts can you use? Like, I'm sure you can use like a ton, but some of them are so tightly linked, like
Some of the fonts are just stupid too, but there are a lot of them. Yeah.
with some of the languages and the way they're written is so tight and small
Yeah.
that to add font to it would ruin it.
Yeah, change the meaning of it and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're so blank that you can just do anything to it.
Like, do you think it's possible that, say, somebody that speaks Mandarin Chinese and has their whole life would have learned the language enough where they could see the different fonts and still know what it means, kind of the same way that we do? Like, even down to using some of the fucking emojis to represent words and shit, and people know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm
Well,
saying? Hieroglyphics.
that whole thing in itself is a whole nother topic. But hey, how about this? We back up. We go back on topic because I want to go halfway into this book. We've talked about the WNBA and the ups and downs of that, and I'm sure we are not the leading experts. We're not even the losing experts. We're not, you know what I mean? We just kind of know. We just kind of know what certain aspects of the world. But one thing is for sure, when I got a little ways back in this book, and I ran across this article. What was the guy's name? Matt. No, it wasn't Matt. Here it was. It was called Matt Finished the article. My bad. It's Mac. Mac Beggs.
Okay.
All right. I am a man, says Mac Beggs, a wrestler for the Euless Texas Trinity High. To open Changing the Game, which is a show. Somebody made a show. So to open the show, Changing the Game, he comes on and says, I'm a man, and I am the state champ of a female high school wrestling team. Right? So, or I'm sorry, he's the state champ of female high school wrestling. So in all of Texas,
A man is the number one in the females division.
right, 57-0.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making him the Mayweather of high school wrestling.
For girls in Texas.
Right, in a single season.
Yeah.
In a single season. How long did it take?
He's like, I'm Floyd Mayweather, bitches.
Right. It's funny, too, because they say, and I am the state champ of female high school wrestling. He gulps. And then the film sits uncomfortably in that silence before the title appears on screen. They're trying to give you a sense of, like, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was just saying, you know, fine then. You and I.
What else did you get from it, bro? Because that's just the intro. What else? What the fuck is the deal?
You really want to know? You really want to know? This kid is just like, I'm doing this. I don't want to give the rest of the article credit. Because honestly, Sports Illustrated disappointed me with their whole episode.
Yeah, but why? Why? What was it? Like, I'm not justifying the shit at all. I'm trying to know what the fuck the deal was. Like, what is it? Was he transitioning or some shit? Like, I'm just using a loophole, so fuck it.
No, he fucking, he fucking is taped his whatever. Or he pretends he has boobs. I don't know. You tell me.
You didn't read it.
Fuck, Virtue. When I try to change the subject, you're like, no. I want to make sure that you read this. I'm like, no. Let me just bring it up and say, hey, do you think a man should have 57-0? Do you want to go into that, or do you want to go into full detail about this guy's transition?
I don't need to know full detail, but I just want to know if that's what the fuck is happening.
That's full enough detail. I have to read like the entire article, which bored the fuck out of me. So I was just like, no, I'm not worried about it. It's just an ad for this changing show, Changing the Game movie they want to put out. I don't want to read their ad on screen. It's a one-page ad, and I was reading it and I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. It's nothing. It's just saying, okay, 20% of Americans say they've met a trans person. The Tennessee bans on trans people are barbaric and horrible. I don't know. I don't want to read all that shit, man. I don't give a fuck about their take. I just wanted to bring up the guy, and this was my source.
Okay.
That guy existed. You know what I mean?
See, the part, like, if that's what's happening, that the motherfucker is transitioning or whatever, or he's just pretending he's a girl when he wrestles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's described as a boy-crazy, budding YouTube star who enjoys film and makeup tutorials.
so he didn't even say, "Oh, I'm gonna be a girl." He just likes doing girl shit.
He's gay. He's non-binary. Don't ask him what he is. You don't get to.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a woman. That's what he says. I am a woman. Now let me at him. And then he
See, here's the thing, bro.
flips and flops these girls.
Right. And see, here's the thing, man. Like, the part that's fucked up is like straight off the top in the fucking article. I'm a man, so it's like,
But I'm slightly
what the fuck is really going on?
But I'm slightly disappointed in you here because when you ask me, is he trans or not? That gives credence to if he was transitioning.
That it's okay?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Either way.
I'm just trying to understand the angle that they're trying to spin this bullshit.
Right.
You know what
I'm
I'm
just
saying?
trying to take these shots right quick.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand this motherfucking angle and shit, man.
Their angle is that it's fair play. The title of the article is Fair Play. They give the picture up
Okay.
here is a very flattering picture
Okay, so here's the thing.
where it looks
Okay.
like he's wrestling another guy his same size.
All right, so I got you. So here's the thing for me.
But that's a girl.
When I'm looking at this shit, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out the play. You know what I mean? It says fair play, but I'm trying to figure out the play, right? Because that art, like, you know, okay, let's say, dude, just like, I'm a man, but I'm gonna wrestle the girls and shit just because. All right, you want to open it up like that? Then fuck it, let's just open everything up. You know, just, you know, men against women, period, point blank type deal. You know what I mean? Like, that's when shit really starts to get weird, man, and it already is weird.
It's only weird
Cause like I
for
give
the non-traditionals.
I give you an example.
The traditionals are not having a hard time. They're marrying, they're having kids, they're doing what they, they're doing their lives the way they've always thought they would do them. A lot of them.
Right, but see the thing is, this shit is not targeted at us. It's targeted at youngins.
Non-traditionals. It's trying to make everybody non-traditional. Because whose traditions are we representing here? My thing is, this really brings us all back around to politics.
Yeah.
Because I want you to think about somebody like Ilhan Omar. Okay?
Who?
Ilhan Omar.
The fuck is that?
Bling! I'm just gonna post that up real quick. Now she is openly called for like violent protest. She's called for like all kinds of like insane. Like her rhetoric is anti-American. It's hate, right? She believes that the whole American system is evil. I'm not saying that she.
And she's a part in it because she holds a position in it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, if you want to take something down, you got to take it down from inside. You know what I mean? A large structure like
Right,
this.
yeah, I got you, but see the way you're going about doing it is not what's gonna make it work. That's the shit that's gonna get you crushed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what you're describing is the Trojan horse. You know what I'm saying? We're describing is a Trojan horse.
Right.
This is too loud. That's not a Trojan horse.
It's very. Actually, the thing is, though, all of the public speaking is different from the tweeting and shit like that. And I think what a lot of people do is they go for these certain positions. They're trying to do these things. Trump's a fine example of this, right? But then he sits down and he's on the internet and he just starts blabbing. Every time a public servant is in camera, they're scripted. There's a writer, there's somebody there to help them with their speech.
Right.
Right? Because they don't want them saying shit out of school.
Right. Out of pocket.
But when you're on Twitter, You can just do that. You'll just be sitting there and you'll just fucking come out your mouth, right?
Okay.
Which is why some people are saying politicians shouldn't be on Twitter, shouldn't be allowed on Twitter. That's a weird thing. Trump's banned from Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never allowed to go on Twitter again. Just for what? I don't even know why. I mean, honestly,
I'm gonna tell you some funny shit though. Like, if that nigga was hard pressed to get back on Twitter and shit, all he needs is somebody to give him their account. That's it.
yeah,
I give him my account. I wouldn't give a fuck. I do it.
Right.
I don't even give a fuck about none of that shit, but I still do it.
Right.
Just cause I know he got a louder voice than me and shit. So if nobody was like, nah, Trump, you can't have my account. I'm like, nigga, here, go for it.
Right. So what if? Yeah, but what if you just went on your account and you were like, "I'm the president, Donald Trump, and I'm taking over this account because I've been banned." Nobody would believe you. It would take so long for him to get a following, like, at all. He would have to take pictures of himself on the toilet, like, you know what I mean? Like, he would have to do some shit to like prove he's fucking real.
Yeah.
Like, go stand outside by the lawnmower and let the fucking sprinkler hit you. And then he does that. Then you'll be like, all right, I got you. That makes sense. Strangle your dog to death. What the fuck? Did I prove it yet? Ooh, punch your newborn in the face.
By God, I started punching my newborn in the face. Yeah.
No, but see, that's gonna defeat the purpose to do excessive shit like that.
Yeah, you're right. Eat an ice cream cone with red on the top and green on the bottom. How's that?
Nah, or shave your head.
Right. Sacrifice a cat to
No.
Omnibus.
Nope.
The pig god.
Nah, they're sacrificing the cats.
No?
Nope, not at all.
It's the most evil thing you can do.
Sacrifice a cat?
Yeah, it's one of the most evil things you can do.
Why is it a cat specifically?
Oh, because they're favored. I'm not saying they're better. I'm not saying a
Gotcha.
cat is a great thing
Yeah.
and that each one is holy. I'm just saying, like, they are favored, so it's really, like, a bad thing. It's like, why not eat the apple? Because that's favored. That's the favored thing. You know what I mean? Like, don't have that. It's like in my house. My dad was like, do not fucking touch my Little Debbie's. You know what I mean? If you get to have one, you're favored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And,
Like,
and it's because I gave it to you.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any, like,
Yeah.
crinkling in there. I'm going ape shit. I'm going ape shit if I hear any crinkling in there. No,
Like, the fuck is that?
right? What you eating?
Right? Put the whole situation on blast real quick. But see, that's what that chick
But
is doing.
Dad.
But see,
Anyway.
that's what that chick is doing, though. You know what I'm saying? That was the Ilion Omar, whatever her name is.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
she's doing, right? But see, the thing is that, bro, she doesn't have a platform big enough to be able to bust that shit down and and really have an impact on it.
No platform, though?
Versus versus somebody that hasn't been in the game as long as some of these other people and shit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, especially, with, some of the, special interest groups that, finance their campaign for reelecting and all of that shit, right? Bro, they'll bust you down financially.
Side
They'll
note,
just bust you down.
I was just about to go on to Ilhan's Twitter page and show you, like, how many followers and how many people. It's not the followers, it's how many people see her tweets. Because people share that shit and talk
Yeah.
shit about her.
Yeah.
But then I realized I did something that was great for me.
Okay.
I deleted Twitter. So, yeah, I can't go onto her Twitter page.
Really?
Because I deleted Twitter from my phone.
Seriously?
Yep, I don't need that. I don't need it in my life, man. It was just too much, like, people's opinions suck. There's so many people with opinions, bro.
Okay.
How is this possible? I think it's like there was a breach in communication for a reason, man. The only reason that humanity made it this far is because we couldn't hear each other. And now all of a sudden we're fucking all just hearing each other at once. I also heard that there's a correlation between civilizations breaking down and everybody giving up on gender roles. that almost every civilization had a swarm of like transgenderism before its destruction. You think that's
I believe that.
kind of
I ain't
crazy?
gonna bullshit you. I believe that. All right, so I'm on her
Sodom and
page.
Gomorrah is
I
the
don't-
only actual story I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But
Okay, what on her page am I looking at? She's got 3 million followers.
3 million followers, bro.
Okay.
And I mean, where's her likes and retweets and shit? That's a lot, man.
824.
And,
That's pinned from almost the beginning of the year.
right. I'm drawing up articles of impeachment. By the way, it's not going to happen.
Well, I mean that's already done now. You know what I'm saying? This was in January.
Yeah. all
Maybe
that
she's
shit-
talking about Biden, maybe, because that was after the election. I guess.
Well, also, I have to say now she's in a position of comfortability now because the Democrats are in. They have power.
Right.
So
okay, so all the shit she was saying, she said this when Trump was in office.
yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to like.
Okay. See, I thought you were talking about now.
You'd have to scroll, and it wasn't just about Trump. You know,
Yeah.
it was all about BLM, Antifa, all of that shit, man. You know what I mean? This, it's just a clear-cut case of people who have contempt for just America in general,
Yeah.
because of what because of what America's done, and because of what they've heard about America, which probably are one and the same, but also two different things.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Korea, they're told Americans have hooked noses.
I know exactly what you're saying. I understand. Like like what you're saying. What they've done is what's written in the history books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We have done things that cannot be erased.
Right,
Right.
right.
But that doesn't mean that everybody over here has hooves.
Right. I understand what you were saying. Like one and the same, but also completely two separate things. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm with you.
And
It's like the history versus the perception.
right.
Yeah.
But if you really, what I don't understand is why Ilhan's deception was never approached. Why nobody ever said, why Ilhan, you married your brother to get in here and then maintained a relationship with another man, lived with this other man, and then divorced your brother. Like, that's illegal. What's going on here?
I mean, like,
You're not allowed to marry in the court of law. You're not allowed to marry your brother.
okay, right, okay, but then the angle they would spin on that is, did she know that when she came over here? You know what I mean? Or did she find that out after they were already married? You know what I'm saying?
That it
But
was
then-
her brother.
I don't fucking know, bro. But you know how motherfuckers spin
No, that's
shit?
it. Yeah,
you know how
I'm
people
just-
spin it?
Well, what you're doing is attempting to spin it. I'm just saying, for point blank,
Yeah.
this guy's her brother.
Right,
She married him,
right.
but she's in love with somebody else and
Okay.
doing whatever, you know.
Okay. Mhm.
Meanwhile, she's
Okay.
also in
I'm
office.
gonna tell you something. By that description right there, she knew that was her brother. That was her way to get in the country.
Exactly. It's called immigration fraud, and it's illegal.
Right.
I'm just saying that now, and she's in office, walking around the hallways of the congressional buildings, being a representative of the people, and saying that every aspect of America is based on white supremacy and needs to be taken down. You know what I mean? Like,
And this is some of the shit she was saying while Trump was in office, or now.
just all in general. She'll still say it. She'll still say that shit, man. She's just not changed.
Then she gonna get bust down eventually, bro.
It's not happening though, because the Democrats took power. All of investigations have stopped, you know, except for what the FBI or anybody who's still a white hat is trying to push forward, and a lot of them don't have time now, you know, or resources because the Republicans aren't in power. They don't have the resources to go after all the little ones, so they're just working on the big ones right now. I just heard that Trump said something very interesting, which was, "I'll be reinstated soon." He said that publicly.
I wanna say that crossed my phone at some point.
I saw it on George Takei's website. Oh my God, George Takei, Georgie. Of course, he was like outrage over Trump's saying this, right? But what I really think is that Trump is saying there was a collusion and a coordinated attack
Well,
on the voting.
Did you hear about, like, what, to your point, did you hear about what they've been doing in Arizona? Looking into that shit?
I'm saying,
Yeah, in Arizona, they're in that shit deep, bro. Deep.
And it's very important because all of us people might get sucked under a new regime that we don't really want. We don't understand that America itself was built piece by piece over time. All those little amendments we made, all the little things we did, that's piece by piece over time because certain things weren't working.
Right.
We had to switch things and
Right.
flop things.
Or weren't working in the best way.
Right.
Yeah.
And it all started out from what? One little spot where some guy was like, I have an idea for a system and I'm going to implement this system in this country, this new world, right? And over time we had to add on to that system and change it.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing. But they're acting like we're still thinking about George Washington's version of how plantations can run the country. We're not thinking that way anymore.
Right.
That's off the table now because slavery's gone. It's gone. It's abolished here in the United States, making the United States one of the best places in the world, in my opinion, because slavery is abolished. And if you catch somebody keeping a slave, we prosecute that shit. And by the way, it's not unknown in certain areas for like certain wealthier families to keep slaves still here in America. Because it's like those certain areas are kind of cut off.
Yeah.
They're their own like ethnicized areas, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, we can still treat each other the way we want. That still does happen here in America. But when we catch it, down you go, you know what I mean? Like, so that to me makes us one of the best countries in the world. Not to mention the fact that, I mean, we're open-minded. We're willing to vote for whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
a little too open-minded. in my
it's
opinion.
it's true, and I do believe that there's a need for conservatism, and that's where the government comes in.
Yeah.
And we need a conservative government. We need the public to be liberal, because that keeps the ideas flowing. That keeps people like interested in the world, and we need the government to be conservative, so that everybody doesn't use everything up.
You'd be like, hey, now that's too far.
Right. We're running dry here. We're running dry here. Stop this and stop this. Let that refill. We'll see what we can do. I mean, that's not to say that there's not
It's almost
people
like
who
playing
steal.
like StarCraft and Warcraft and shit. All right, we need more of those. All right, let the resources rebuild. Click, put that there. You know.
Exactly. That's literally what government is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be, man. We're not supposed to be like glorifying people as gods, dude. We could
Getting overrun with the horde. That's what's happening. Overrun with the horde.
There's Bibles, holy Bibles, Christian Bibles, right? King James Bibles that were rewritten by Kim Jong Il, right?
Kim Jong Un. Oh, his
Yeah,
father.
yeah.
His father.
They were rewritten
Okay.
by him to have him as like God and have his son as Christ.
Are you serious?
Yeah, all of that shit.
Wow.
There's images in North Korea of these people like as God. Like you'll go past a picture. I was watching an article. I was watching a video of a girl doing a.
Is that what like you think? That's why
Interview.
you think that's why they censored their TV and all that shit so much?
Yes. She said we don't even know what internet is because we're not even allowed to travel. So when a girl like me gets away, I find out how big the world is. But 3 generations of my people had to die. 3 generations of my people had to die. Because over there, that's how they do it. That's the law. If one person commits a crime, everybody pays in their whole family.
Damn.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, it is, bro.
We're not dealing with that shit here, man. But and that's the product of putting people, politicians, up in pictures because there's photos of Kim Jong Il and Kim Jong Un encased in like golden light with angels all around them, and you have to protect it with your life. If there's a fire in your house, you take those out first, then your kids.
God damn.
The people believe this to their heart because they don't know anything else. And it's hard to like say that because that's almost insinuating that they're completely ignorant.
Yeah.
But that's the truth. They've been told only this and they're not allowed to see anything else. She said, the girl I was listening to, she said in Korea, the search for food is all you have. That's how they keep the people down. They made food the commodity, so you don't have time to think about the meaning of life. You know, you don't have time to think about the meaning of life. They take away the words I and you and replace it with we and us. That way, you don't have any individual identity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's certain areas of the world where slave girls are still kept, and acid or hot water thrown on them and disfigured if they did something wrong. You know, that shit still happens in this world. We're lucky to live where we live. You know what I mean? That's one thing, that's for sure. But to take it to the full extent and say, okay, we're so free that we can do whatever we want. Would you want to go to the Capitol building and see it covered in graffiti?
No. Well, even more so because I'm from there.
Right. I mean, I actually think the Capitol building might be an oppressive symbol, but it's also quite beautiful. I have mixed emotions about things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the pure white columns and the huge dome and then all the crazy shit going on. It's actually kind of dirty, the Capitol.
Yeah.
And filthy, actually. But
I mean, but it's just like, you know what I mean, when you start thinking about some of those landmarks, you know, those landmark monuments in D.C. and shit like that, you know, Capitol Building, Washington Monument, White House.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's the big three,
Well, the White House is the best kept.
obviously.
The one that's got the new paint job and shit. Yeah,
Obviously.
That fucking Capitol building, dude. If you stand from far back, it looks like an ancient Greek structure. Like you can almost see the mold in all of the crevices. It does not look like white. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like a lot of it's concrete.
Right. I was out there recently, man, and I was just sitting there watching. People were all lined up. There was this huge family of I don't know. I think they were Hispanic, but apparently it was a prom, right? There must have been 50 girls in prom dresses and 50 dudes in prom dresses, all lined up.
You mean tuxedos?
Yeah,
Okay.
I said prom dresses. Yeah, whatever. The dudes are in their prom dress. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
But they were all lined up, just taking pictures in front of the Capitol and shit, appreciating
Right.
America,
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on my Instagram.
right? And then I'm gonna also post "fuck America" and I'm gonna go to a fucking anti-fascist rally. Cause ain't nobody got time for fashion.
God damn. Shit, that joint got me good right there.
You just squirted.
No, I didn't. I spit.
I think it just squirted all over the place. No, my problem here is not that you spewed on the table.
Okay.
Because everybody sometimes, you know what I mean, you take that extra hot shot. You know what I mean? My problem here is that this is brandy,
Right.
extra smooth.
Right.
That was supposed to go down
Smooth.
so easy, bro. You were not supposed to lose that.
Yeah.
You lost control of the wheel, man.
I mean, you know, I don't drink like that anymore. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I probably still in my lifetime would drink harder than most and harder shit than most.
Hey, man. I always thought brandy was a gentleman's drink, a drink for discussion, a drink for open-mindedness. Sit down, have a cigar by the fire with your dog. You know what I mean? It's a versatile drink.
I don't know about that last one, but yeah, I got you.
It is. It's a versatile drink, man.
No. I'm talking about sitting down by the fire with your dog and a cigar.
Whittling some wood.
With Jeeves bringing you tea and crumpets.
Man, Jeeves ain't going nowhere until Gugu lets him out the cage.
You know, ass Jeeves.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Hey,
I remember that nigga back in the day.
I keep trying to use Ask Jeeves. Every time I go on the internet, I try to use Ask Jeeves so often
Yeah.
that it's on my recent,
Yeah.
my little
Recommended,
tab.
Yeah.
It's that Wells Fargo and Pornhub. It's I don't use Pornhub on my actual computer.
I use what is it? A VPN.
No. I don't put anything like that on. This computer would be dead by now if I allowed any kind of indiscreet material to come into it. I'm so careful with that shit.
Yeah.
I turn it on to YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I turn it on to check my bank account. I turn it on to do certain official documents
Yeah.
that I have to do weekly.
Weekly.
Weekly. You know? But other than that, man, this thing does not get used for any
Nothing
kind
else,
of...
yeah.
Nothing like that.
I
you know?
got you.
Now, your phone, on the other
You still
hand...
going to live leaks though?
Live Leak?
Yeah.
I stopped going to Live Leak.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, let me tell you about liveleak.com. It used to be the place you go if you want to see some, like, shit from around the world. You really want to know what the fuck's going on around the world? Type in a country on liveleak.com and you will see just the videos of the most wretched shit happening everywhere. And it gets to the point where, like, you know, one of the countries that stood out to me? Brazil. No offense to any American Brazilians, okay? Brazilians that are here and doing better with their lives. But it seems like everybody in that country has witnessed a brutal slaying or mutilation. And that scares the fuck out of me. You know what I mean?
Like machetes and shit.
Yeah. I mean, just chainsaw massacres.
God damn.
Dude, if you're on Live Leak and you look up Brazilian prison, it's ridiculous. People gouging each other's eyes out with spoons in HD right in front of you. Like, there's a spoon all the way in my brain and you're making mush in there. And I'm just like, I'm too fucked up to do anything because it's a prison riot. Half of me's on fire, the other half is staked to the ground with a spike. Like, horrific things, you know what I mean? Like, these guys they made this guy eat his own hand. They chopped off pieces of his finger. They cut his hand off, made him wear it, and then they made him eat his buddy's ear while his buddy was sitting there, like, almost dead, but not quite dead, just screaming about his ear getting eaten. And then they start cutting slices off this guy's hand and feeding it to him. The whole time they're pouring hot. They've got like a plastic bag wrapped up, and they lit it on fire, so this hot
Yeah, the plastic
is just flaming down onto his body
Yeah.
every time he doesn't, like, oh my god, man. You talking about, like, hell?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being down in some pit in some prison and they're just doing that to you? And no guard's gonna come, nobody's gonna come and help you. You're just gonna be like,
That's a horrible end.
it is, dude. I seen a guy have to watch his father get beheaded, and then they threw him on the ground and just went like this with a knife, and he was like, what the fuck? I'm listening to you. I didn't do nothing. You just killed my dad. What are you doing? And they start sawing,
Yeah.
and he's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And they're holding him, but he doesn't dare fight.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't dare fight for some reason. And they saw all around the top of his chest, and they rip the hole, and you can see inside of him.
What the fuck?
And they pull his heart out, and he's just like, and then finally he dies, but the whole time he just looks bewildered. He didn't even fight. It was, how can,
Savage.
right? And this was,
That's savage.
these were just kids. These were just kids in Brazil doing this shit to another rival gang member. Hey, they told us to kill him, so let's have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Take out his heart.
Yeah, that's savage.
Jesus, bro.
That's what America wants to kids.
But to my point, Live Leak, like, it got hit. It got hit with something, some kind of censorship situation where now when you go on there, it's like hard to find anything. My own page, you know what happened to it? It's like MySpace. It got bought by somebody else, and they just totally rechanged the format of everything. And like, if you go to your own page, it's like different. You know what I mean? And nothing's the same. And I can't even log into my account. I can't log into my account on Live Leak. And I can't look up any, like, crazy, weird videos. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's some interesting ones. Like a baby who gets, like, literally run completely over by a fucking trolley. And then gets up and walks it off. And then, like, they have the updates where it's like, yeah, it was fine. But you see both wheels of the trolley just mash this baby into the ground. And then it just gets up and walks away. It's like super baby. You know what I mean? So Live Leak was interesting for weird videos like that. They would not allow you to see that on Facebook.
No.
Because it'd be like, no, that's a baby getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know? But sometimes you got to see like somebody get hurt to see to really understand the struggle of rising back up from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you never ever see anything bad happen, you'll never appreciate anybody's struggle.
That's true.
Right? That's
true.
kind of.
That's true.
And I think we lie there in this world. Like, we don't appreciate each other's struggles. A lot of us just. You know what really gets me? When I see parents, like adult parents, who talk to their kids like they're grown.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
you really don't understand that this kid is, like, trying to learn? You know, like. And you think this kid is really just being an asshole on purpose? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like.
Right. Yeah, it's still an infant.
Right.
You're gonna stop that crying right now. We're not gonna go anywhere until you stop crying.
Right.
That baby needs comfort, not scolding.
Right. Apparently something's going on. We got to change everything right now and figure out what's wrong with the baby. I mean, hey, that's one of the fun parts of life. Honestly, when you're an adult and all of a sudden you have a baby and everything that you have mapped out in your life, you have to change it constantly because of this baby's around. It's fun. You learn how to break free from all of your molds, actually. A baby does that for you. It teaches you things. Like, all of a sudden you're going on camping trips more. You're going out more. You're doing things more often. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I understand, like, the world of people who want to be child bearers. Like, the men in this world who want to have kids and stuff. But be careful, because the media, the news, social media, social apps, they will convince you that you want to be something else. Just really think about it. Do I want a woman and a family and a, you know what I mean, a steady career where I'm doing something to help the world? Or do I want to be an influencer? Do I want to influence the minds of the nation? Do I want to try to help? Like, there's ways to help in
You can do
both
both.
directions.
You can do both.
You know?
It's possible to do both.
It's possible to do both,
I
but
mean, obviously, it's hard, but
yeah, I've seen a lot of people who are like on YouTube, family man. You know what I mean? Who is like, this is how it is being in a family and blah blah blah. But I guarantee you, posting these long videos of your whole day with your family takes a lot of time away from you and your family. You're sitting down editing videos. You're taking your camera out every time something good happens. You know what I mean? Instead of fucking just being like, this is great, man. I just lived that moment. It's in my brain. It's like we're afraid that we're not going to remember things anymore. It's like we have this fucking...
yeah, it has to be documented or it didn't happen.
We have this high expectation of memories now to be digital and where you can actually see it with your eyes and light.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, most of your deepest memories...
It wasn't, well... I mean, I can't say how true that is for these youngers now and shit, but, you know what I mean? We was around before the internet. Before camera phones and all of that bullshit, so for us, that's absolutely true.
But if they were documenting this cool event, they weren't part of it. They were just documenting it. Can you imagine, like... I don't know, man. I guess it's always been a part of history. People have always wanted... Ever since the camera came out, people have wanted to take pictures of things as they happened. You know what I mean? But, and that did take people away from reality eventually. In the beginning, cameras, no, it didn't take you away from reality. How did a camera do that? In the beginning, I'm going to take a photo of you, right? The only difference for you is you have to stand there for 10 minutes while the flash gets ready and my camera gets warmed up. I just have to get under that shield, you know what I mean? And then I pull the thing and it's like a flash, and now you got to stand there for a while. That's about it. But nobody was like, oh my God, that volcano is erupting. Quick, let me draw it perfectly. No, you just run from the volcano.
I mean, who the fuck would draw it, though?
Yeah,
I mean, like, versus, let's say, a volcano was...
no, like back in the day.
I got you.
Yeah.
But I mean, but even something like that could still happen now.
Right, but now a person would be like, let me get an art photo.
Yeah. Let me video record. But see, the thing is, also you also I gotta stand too, bro. Sometimes some of the video footage that gets captured wasn't for people that were reacting to the event happening and they saw it. Sometimes people that was already doing shit, and then what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like that also.
Most of the time. Almost every video I have of something interesting happening is always like cut in. It's like at the moment, maybe even missed most of it. Because you see something happening, then you have to get out your phone.
Right.
This is, I swear to God, that's what frustrates Elon Musk. So he's making Neuralink. So you can have like this thing on you, like
Just record straight to your eyeball. Just get it.
just as soon as you see something, just replay 10 minutes before. You know what I mean? Like replay, cut, edit, add sepia,
That's like some cyborg shit if you think about it.
right? Sharpen. All right, good. Now GIF here, here, and here. Done. Post to social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Zudu, and Falala. You know what I mean? Zudu and Falala are just two that I've
Made up.
and I think they'll exist one day. Zudu and Falala. But here you go. Tra-la-la. And cheers, everybody. Drink brandy. I just want to bring this up before we end this episode. Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated magazine. I agree with the message on the back. It says get your steps in, but it is a Corona ad, right? So first and foremost, sports, if you want to get into sports, you got to like get
Have a
in
beer.
Yeah, but you got to get Corona Light Premier. It's an exceptionally light beer, so when you're doing flying kicks or flip hops or whatever you do,
It's like a power up drink.
yeah, it won't weigh you down like a traditional beer. Also, if you really want to excel at your sport of choice, Dewar's blended Scotch whiskey. That's really gonna do you right.
Right. Especially if you golf.
Right. And let's see. Don't forget your Newport Boosts. The new Newport. It's kind of like Camel Crush, where you can
You can press the little button to make the menthol come out?
yeah, but you can make it more menthol. You can boost the menthol, so you get your regular menthol and then some boost of menthol.
That's trippy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like double your menthol, double your black. Anyway,
Double your white.
right?
Double your brown.
It's by the way, it's a white.
Yellow.
By the way, this is one of the first ads I've seen for Newport featuring a white male.
Really?
Go back and look through history at Newports, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a black dude wearing like a polo with a white pants, and he'll look really like he's living the sailor's life.
Right.
Boys to men, like water runs dry.
Go ahead, man. That's funny.
That's how Newport ads always were. But now for Newport Boost, it's like, hey,
If a white man need that extra nicotine, is that what it is?
why would you went with a white guy?
Now I'm gonna tell you some more funny shit though. How we talking about odd cigarette ads and shit? This is probably the most odd cigarette ad right here ever. Me and these.
Oh yeah, check this out.
Me and these.
Check this out. K.
Well, that would be true with any box thing, right?
Ku Klux Klan, baby.
That would be true for any pack. Whatever.
Hey, I just want to go on record saying that I would kill Ku Klux Klan.
So that's a quadruple K.
If I could go back in time, I would murder the head of the Ku Klux Klan. I just want to go on record with that.
Like new Back to the Future movie.
I would not go back and kill Hitler like everyone else. Right? Everybody says, oh, I'd go back and kill Hitler. No. I would go back and I would kill The Ku Klux Klan. Right from where they started, like in their little den. The first guys who were like, I got an idea. Why don't we klux it up? Hey, we Ku Kluxing over here as a clan. Oh, as a clan.
Oh, yeah. That's probably how the shit gets.
Hey, and you know what?
Shit like that too,
And you know what? This ain't no regular average Ku Kluxing, like Ku Kluxing like no damn chicken clucking around the garden. This is with K's, all right? Because we're kings. Because we're kings, we use K's. We don't use no C's like them damn colors.
Damn. God damn.
Fuck you mean. Ku Klux Klan, bitches. Wah, wah. And then they're all like gadded up. And then I come in there and I'm just like,
With some guns from this time?
I'm just like, Future Lord. Pew, 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 pew. We just fuck them up. You know what I mean? We ain't got no time machines yet.
Yeah, Future Lord.
Right, but by the time we have time machines,
How you gonna go back in time?
we gonna have lasers.
True. Oh well, if you could go back in time, then technically you could jump forward in time. So, yeah, go get some super guns and then go back.
Right? And then I come back and like the whole fucking place is just not racist anymore. Either that or everybody's dead and nobody exists because I killed off like literally the entire ruling class of the United States of America, and everybody just kind of was left wild and on their own, and eventually the fucking house is just dilapidated and everybody like ate all the food and raped everybody and it became a savage nation again.
That's one end of the spectrum, or it could be Paradis.
Oh, absolutely. We could just go all the way back in time, kill all the white people that started America, right?
Shut the fuck up.
And then
man.
make paradise. Like.
Shut up. Just covering both ends.
I'm saying, I feel you. And it's it's interesting to think about all the different pathways that history could have taken. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, but like be
he's
clear.
hiding his cup from me all the way over there.
I mean, be clear though. I mean, this is what, number 4.
Yeah, 4 shots.
Yeah, Quaz is doing. But it's like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily like indicate that, all right, okay, go back in time and change this one thing, this will be the outcome and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Obviously, all of a sudden you could like go back in time and come back and like you have no arms.
Oh God.
So you'd be like, oh shit.
Like fuck, I gotta go back and redo that one thing and try again.
Right.
Maybe I gotta go back a little further, kill them when they were babies, right? And then come back to your time and you have no legs.
There's only one choice. You've got to use your penis to do it. Like, it's the only thing that'll fit in there. Just don't miss. Like,
Come back, got no dick.
right? His dick was the only thing that would get in that box without everybody dying. A baby died. Remember that? The butterfly effect? It was like they put a fucking firecracker in the mailbox and like to blow it up, but then this lady came out to check the mail and the firecracker dudded out for a bit. So it didn't explode right away. And she had a baby. You know what I'm saying? She had a baby, a cute baby. And they walked up to the mailbox and like
Okay, then that was more than a firecracker then.
oh yeah, it was like an M80. It was like an
Okay, like a
M80.
basic firecracker, just go pop. It might hurt if you're holding it.
Was it an M80 or an M90? I don't know. It was an M something. It was a motherfucking boomstick, and it blew up the fire. It blew everything up. So the baby died, and everybody had like mental issues after that. So he was like, if I just go back in time.
I'd go back and not do that.
Yeah, but see, he didn't have to wait for technology. He had a magic power that allowed him to just go back and change shit. Boy.
Like in the moment.
Yeah, we are going to have to wait for technology, which is something I heard a guy talking about this. He was like, we've actually in the past history of the earth, humans weren't only alive for a few thousand years. We've been around a long time doing shit here. We had actual abilities before, and that like those abilities were taken from us, meaning our pituitary glands were shrunk. And now our only like choice is to try to attain those abilities through technology, and it's extremely flawed, and we like fail constantly, and like it's dangerous to like the galaxy for us to be trying the things we're trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring back the mutant Nephilim.
Right. Somebody was saying, man, if you're talking about AI, and so I was saying that my fear for AI was not that androids would take over or that computers would take over, but that there would be an information influx that the world's server network could not handle,
Okay.
that would create a virtual black hole in the cloud. But that would actually transfer to reality, because a black hole that means that we've ruptured the fabric of space and time. If we create a cloud, then we create a black hole within the cloud by having too much information pile in on top of itself at once. If we could suddenly take all the info in the world and contain it down into one fucking terabyte of knowledge or something, that would be a singularity. That would be a mass. You know what I mean? That would be intense mass. It would be. That's why they say if you took everything in the universe and put it down into a single point, it would weigh. You wouldn't be able to hold it. It would just go through your hand.
Okay.
It would just weigh down to wherever the fuck it's going. But so I was thinking that, and then I heard some other people talking about how if we were to study AI, the thing that we don't understand is the third axis. So you have the X, the Y, X, and
The Z.
axis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Third dimension.
That's the one thing we don't understand, and that's where I was saying, yeah, that's it then. That third dimension is the cloud, the conflux of information coming together in not the sky, but in the actual fabric of our world. How are we creating the cloud? How is it that things don't disappear ever? Do you know that
Servers.
when they catch people,
Servers.
yeah, and even it goes down to your simple cell phone. Sometimes they catch a guy for a crime and they go in his cell phone and they give it to the FBI forensics and they pull up every deleted file he ever put in his phone. They pull up every deleted picture, every word, every deleted text, everything he ever deleted.
Well,
They bring it back.
some of that you can't pull from your phone. Like, it's possible to do that shit on a computer, but with a phone it's a little different.
No, yeah, but what they do is they plug it into the computer. They take your phone and they plug it in. They can do this over at fucking Best Buy if you want. Or I remember when they had Circuit City. You know what I mean? You take your cell phone and they'll put it onto another phone and clone.
Okay.
But that's to go through a computer. You
Right.
plug it in.
Right.
Everything goes in the computer.
Right.
But the thing about it is the computer can analyze every single space of memory, and everything you've erased is not completely erased. It's
Yeah.
still there.
No, it's not.
It gets overlooked.
It's different.
It gets overlapped with a zero. There's ones and zeros, and then it'll get overlapped. Everything will get overlapped with a zero, but because the metal that's in the memory chip, there's actual metal in there. It's copper,
Right.
and it's like a copper form of it, like different alloys. They never lose that imprint, ever. If you put it back to zero, and you look at it, and you're like, oh, there's a zero there, you'll still see a slight color variance where the one used to be.
On the, like, you're talking about physically on the piece of copper.
Correct, because that sheet of alloy was created pure, right? And the moment you burn it, the moment you heat it with that one or that zero,
Right.
you can never put it back to pure form again.
Okay.
Ever. Not back to factory form. You can only write a zero over top of it. And they can go back and read the depth of the ones and zeros on each layer of copper and reform everything you've deleted. They did it to this guy, the guy who did the Parkland massacre. He admitted to all this shit on his phone beforehand, but before he like made videos of himself prepping. But before it, he erased it all from his phone and he did a hard reset on his phone and everything.
Okay.
And then they took his phone and forensic research brought back every single one of those videos. Full quality.
Wow.
Full quality.
Wow.
they will trick you by saying delete. Really, all it means is mask.
Right.
You're masking whatever you've put. And when you defragment some, like your computer, like I remember back in the day, defragging used to take hours.
Yeah.
If your computer was slow, you go defrag it. It takes every blank 1 and 0 that got kind of deleted or something, and pushes it all to the back. So you have fresh,
free space.
blocks you've never used, and all the ones you've used are in the back because they're still identifiable.
Yeah.
No matter if you killed them or not, they're still used blocks. And that's what I found out about like your phone, whatever server you've linked up to talk to whatever question you've asked Google. It's all forever. It's all forever.
Well, provide like going back to the point that you gave, like provided, you know what I mean, you know, somebody is going to be there to be able to pull the shit back off the copper.
Correct.
Or, you know what I mean, or unless the copper is completely burned up.
Or
You know what I mean?
unless
'Cause you like for example, if you burned up a phone,
or and by the way, copper's not the only thing that's in the chip.
that's fine.
But what I'm
just
talking
saying,
about-
like, if you could burn up the materials, there's
Right.
nothing to find.
If you completely
Incinerate
destroy it,
like if you incinerate it.
here's an interesting thing though. Take a piece of paper, right? Take a pencil, write your name on the paper, in the center of the paper. Light all 4 corners and watch it burn away, right? Lift it up, make sure it all burns away. You'll still see your name on the paper. You'll still see the pencil mark on the paper of your name. The only way to destroy it then is to take that paper and crumble it. So what you'd have to have...
I mean, but you just say you burned up the paper, so there is no more fucking paper.
No. If you burn the paper, there's still a piece of carbon left behind. You can't get rid of the paper completely. That black piece, that black ash that you see, some of them, like the big pieces, if you look at them, you can still see the name written.
Like on the ash. I mean, but like
On the
but like
ash.
if you incinerate, if you burn it down to nothing but ash,
But
there's nothing to recoup.
there is, if you're a detective and you walk over to the trash can and you see all that burnt paper there, and on the top of one of them there's a piece of ash and it says a name, and you take a picture. And that's what I'm saying about the evidence of a phone. The phone is not paper.
Right, I know. That's why I said incinerate. Because like there's a, like
Right.
because like if you set a piece of paper on fire with like a lighter, that's different than if you use like a mini blowtorch.
If you set a piece of paper on fire, it's different than if you set a piece of metal on fire.
Yes,
You have to melt the
You need a
metal.
higher temperature.
You need to melt the metal.
Right. That's why I said incinerate.
But when you've got metals that are so thin like that, the tiniest little slivers of metal,
Bro, you could-
they just burn completely, quickly. They burn. And they're still there, though. Unless you grind them into a powder, somebody has the capability of seeing it. I mean, hey,
Not from that.
better safe than sorry. You can say, no, I can do it. They can't.
No,
they can't catch me.
I agree with you on that too and shit. But I mean,
They
I'm just
can't
saying,
catch me?
Like if you burn the phone to nothing but ash, they're not gonna recover anything from that. They're not gonna recover anything from that.
It's happened.
No,
It's happened.
I doubt it.
Phones have been completely destroyed, and they've managed to pull back some pieces off
Probably-
of little bits of
no.
that memory card were left behind, and they managed to get some uncorrupted pieces
Henceforth, why I said incinerate, burn it to ash.
and grind the ash. Because you can burn a phone completely, and the ash still keeps the shape of the phone. And if somebody's like very careful, they can go in and find where the memory card part was, just shave off the ash, find it. And I mean, I'm just saying, a meticulous mind is what you're up against.
No,
You're not up against an idiot. You're up against a meticulous mind.
I understand that. I understand that, which is why I use the word specifically incinerate.
Incinerate, meaning burn to ash.
Yes,
And then ground the ash.
sure.
Grind the ash.
You know, who gives a shit? Because it's a phone, so it's not going to be that much ash.
My point here
Put
is-
them jumps in plastic bags and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, drop them jumps off in like 20 different trash cans. No one's going to fucking know a goddamn thing. If you were trying to incinerate a phone.
But you know who will know? The servers that sent that information to you.
Well, that's a different thing because then you're talking about, you know, transmission of data like, to and from, social media networks and shit like that.
Yeah. So
You know
you're
what I'm saying?
so
or text messages, for example, like your phone company could still pull up shit like that.
Google, Bing, Verizon themselves knows every website you visited. Everyone.
Yeah, I don't.
It's gone through their
I don't
server.
use Verizon, but go ahead.
Even if they didn't list it, even if they didn't capture that information and screen grab it,
Yeah.
it went through their server.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm using their service for internet on my phone. I got you.
Every like
Uh huh.
what this boils down to is
Better being safe than sorry.
there are millions and hundreds.
Won't get caught slipping.
I will say there are hundreds of millions of people out there right now living their lives
Okay.
guilty of a crime
Mm-hmm.
based on the internet laws. Just because
What do you mean?
in their own moments of like weirdness, they look up weird shit. They will look up something that happens maybe to even be illegal, trying to see how far down a rabbit hole they can go.
Okay.
They are guilty of internet crimes and can be placed in physical jail. This is where things go from the cloud to real life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Facebook duels, people talking shit on Facebook, then the guy shows up at their job and beats the shit out of them. Yeah, you're talking shit on Facebook, but I got you in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Same rules apply. So all of a sudden, the police need, the government needs, the New World Order needs this many people to be off the streets. All of these people who are flagged as this type of person need to be off the streets. How do we do that? Internet crimes. We'll go in there, Google. Did you know in 1991 you searched what? Fucking shit, what? Yeah, in 1991 you searched blase blah blah blah. Well, wait, what about statute of limitations? It's been past 7 years. This isn't the federal government. This is internet crimes. This is Internet Bureau. This is FBI. You know what I mean? Federal Internet Investigation. Like, this isn't go by those rules. We're taking people out. They've got everybody for a crime.
I mean, at that point, though, you know what I'm saying, we'd be beyond, like, any sort of country's government. You know what I'm saying? That's a one world order. You know what I'm saying? FII or some shit like that.
And they've got you for a crime. So what I'm doing is fear mongering. I don't even have an explanation.
Yeah.
I don't even have a something like a way to fix it. You know what I mean? I don't have a way to fix all of this.
Yeah.
I'm just explaining right now that everything you've ever typed is kept. It's kept. I mean, there are apps that you can make. There are apps that you can get that are keyboard. They're tap screening apps where like any tap on your keyboard can be recorded.
Okay.
So it records your entire anything you tap on your keyboard.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that means if you have an encrypted thing where it's like you're typing in your password and it won't pop up the letters, they can still record it, what your password is, just by your taps on your keyboard. Like there's weird shit like that that's out there. Just small time hackers have it. Like scam artists at fucking, in New Delhi have that shit. But you think the government doesn't have that shit? You think Google doesn't have that shit?
Like that shit better than that.
You think they're not recording every single thing? If information is so valuable, you think they are not recording every tap of the keyboard that you make? And eventually, we'll realize the value of that information because it's going to equal your freedom. How can information be monetary besides commercials, which nobody even uses those commercials? It's not profitable. How can information be monetized to people? If money equals freedom, freedom equals your information, equals, hey, here's the information about you. Can you be free or not based on this information?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, only certain people, the most savvy, myself not included, were onto this from the beginning and never engaged in social media, never engaged in emailing and all that shit. You know what I mean? They did everything like analog. Those are the only people that are going to make it out of this mess. without being like harassed by. Here, they're going to use this information against us to make us take the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast has been written. The mark of the beast is the real thing.
Yeah.
It's not. It's called that in in Christian or Catholic,
I'm with you.
but everywhere else, everybody else has the same ideal. And when the mark of the beast comes to you, you are going to be so pressured to take it that you may feel like you will die if you don't. And if the pressure enough of your own demise is not enough, you may end up feeling like others will die if you don't take the mark of the beast. Sound like something that you know of right now?
Yeah.
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 Others will die. If you're not worried about yourself, think about others. Like, I've seen so many things. Did you see the articles about people's tongues swelling up because of after they take the vaccine, their tongues swell?
It almost sounds like an allergic reaction. You know what I'm saying?
You know why? Because let's just stop calling it a vaccine. We'll call it what all the celebrities call it, the shot.
Okay.
Because it's a shot of something.
Yeah.
It's not a vaccine.
Most of them are 2 shots.
Right. But all the celebrities are saying, we take the shot. They never say the vaccine.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel was just on talking about, like, Scott the shot. Everybody got to get Scott the shot. Maxine the vaccine and Scott the shot. It was like a funny skit. But why is Maxine the vaccine and Scott the shot 2 different things?
I couldn't tell you.
Who fucking knows, man? But it's a problem when they won't actually say what we're dealing with.
Goodness. Want to keep lying to us?
Well, people down on our level call it vaccine, right? People if you talk to anybody else, they'd be like, "Did you get the vaccine?" Without a blink of an eye. But if you talk to anybody who's in the position of power,
it just depends on how some people talk, man.
no.
That's part of it.
If you talk to people in a position of power, depending on what their stance is politically, they will or will not call it a vaccine
Okay.
because they don't want to be on record as going this way or that way.
Which is why they say shot instead of vaccine. So semantics.
Right.
Okay.
But hey, Bill Clinton used it. Semantics, you know what I mean? Sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah.
Meaning
which
I
means
was
intercourse.
not
Intercourse.
which means I was not in a sexual relationship with that woman.
She just gave me some head once or twice.
Right.
Under the table.
Just yeah. I just stuck my joint in. I stuck my presidential cigar in her pussy, and then she sucked me off, and
That was the end of that.
right, there was no relations involved. It was just one relation. Dude,
That shit was so fucking crazy.
but he did it. And people
he got some head from that bitch.
but people consider him a G for that.
Yeah, I know.
Bill Clinton, ever since then, has been like the black president.
Cause you gotta remember, bro. Like back then, like nigga, we were still probably teenagers. Like moving upwards and onwards, almost out of high school, moving towards those years. I'm good, bro. I'm done it for. But like, you know what I'm saying? That was around during that time and shit. Cause like I remember that specifically because when Al Gore ran against Bush Jr. and shit, that was the first time I was legally able to vote.
Monica Lewinsky. She about to give the skin ski. She be giving it up in the office, man. Monica! What the fuck? Was it Monica Lewinsky?
Mm-hmm.
That was who it was? Who is the famous Madame? The woman who like went down as like she went, god damn. Famous Hollywood madam.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Fuck, man, you'll know her name, man. Let me just hit it. Let me just figure this out real quick.
I mean, if you just said Hollywood Ho, then there's probably a number of different names we can throw in there.
No, she's a madam. She's not a hoe.
Hey, a madam is like
Famous Hollywood madam.
a madam is a pimp for women.
According to Wikipedia, Heidi Lynn Fleisch is an American
Heidi
woman.
Fleiss.
She
Oh,
ran
fuck
an
she
upscale prostitution ring based in Los Angeles, California, and is often referred to as the Hollywood Madam.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of her.
Heidi
Because you say
Fleiss.
madam and shit, I know what the fuck that is. I'm like, that's a pimp.
Right. It's
That's
a female pimp.
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck she is.
Heidi Fleiss, man, she was in all the news, man. Hey, if you remember the OJ trials and you remember all
remember
that
that.
shit,
I do remember that.
Heidi Fleiss was around then. Do you remember?
Oh, goddamn. That was way back when. That's why I don't know, because I wasn't paying attention to that type of shit then.
What was that guy, Beneducci? Goddamn, the guy whose girlfriend shot his wife, man. It was just, man. See, Google is my friend. I'm gonna keep going to Google real quick. Guy whose teenage girlfriend shot his wife in the head. Oh, the Buttafuoco's. Remember Joey Buttafuoco?
Like, was he an actor?
No.
Oh, don't know.
He just owned like a fucking garage, but he hooked up with this like teenage girl, and she ended up like going to his house.
Like, there's like a dude that had a name similar to that on a TV show back in the day, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But
Moody looking motherfucker, Italian ass nigga. Like, I want,
what the fuck?
I want to say like somewhere just after the Happy Days era.
You
You understand what I'm saying?
Telly Savalas,
I don't know, man, but
bald guy.
dude had hair. Dude, I'm thinking about, he had hair.
Buttafuoco, man. Oh, Steve Buscemi? No. Andy Kaufman.
No.
Anyway, but no, listen. Joey Buttafuoco hooked up with this like teenage girl, right? And the teenage girl came over to his house in the middle of the day, knocked on the door, and when the wife answered the door, she shot her in the head.
God damn.
And then like they both went to, well, he didn't go to jail.
And she
for
was
it.
a teenager, meaning she was underage.
She was underage. She went to jail for that shit.
Damn, bro.
I do believe.
He probably went to jail for that too.
No, he didn't go to jail for that.
I mean, he had sexual relations with an underage girl.
Yeah, I know.
That's
but
a crime.
fucking the high class like court system and everything. It was all just focused on her murder, her trying to kill this woman who didn't die. His wife didn't die, so she had to live with the fact that like she just found out
Damn.
via bullet to the head that her husband was cheating.
With an underage girl. God damn.
She found out he was cheating with an underage girl
God
via bullet to the head, bro.
God damn, man. Like,
Came out of that
you'll-
coma like,
you'll-
what happened?
You'll never be the same after that, man. Especially after finding out that information.
How are you gonna love your man?
You can't. That's over. That shit is over.
Right.
That's over.
I'm talking like fucking antifreeze in his juice for 16 years until he dies, like, and it's
Oh,
undetectable.
fuck no, nigga, she leaving him. Fuck you mean?
No, man, you gotta get revenge, dude. She was busted in the head, bro. Revenge.
Okay, but
Revenge.
but see,
I'll
nigga,
spend the rest of my life. I don't give a fuck about living the rest of my life at that point. I could have died just now, and I got a guy with me. Number one, if I leave him over this, I'm completely starting over alone. I'll have to do a couple Inside Edition episodes and get like a couple $100,000.
I mean, a chick like that will more than likely go home to her family, her mother and father, if they're still alive.
She did Inside Edition with him. She stayed with him, by the way.
Stupid.
Right. And I don't want to say that Joey Buttafuoco hooked back up with Amy. Is it Amy Fisher? I think it was her name. I don't want to say he hooked back up with her, but I swear to God, there's some sordid shit going on there. It's funny. We love those stories. We love it.
I don't.
Remember who's the girl who cut off the dude's cock?
Oh, Lorena Bobbitt. God damn that bitch.
Man, she took Bobbitt's
Oh.
She took Bobbitt's cobbit. She took Bob's cob.
Yeah, Bob's Hobbit.
She took his corn on the cob and just gave it a lob. She threw that shit out into the fucking field, bro.
yeah.
And then played Game Boy for like an hour and a half.
I don't remember hearing that shit, but you know.
That was the story. She took his
I don't
cock,
remember hearing nothing about no goddamn Game Boy. That's all
She
I'm
took
saying.
his cock, threw it out of the car into a field, and sat there in the car and played Game Boy for an hour and a half. That's her testimony. People are crazy. Then they went out, found his cock, put it back on.
Yeah.
And now he's got like, you know how an earthworm's got that like one like part on him. He's got like an earthworm like stomach on his cock, and he tries to do porn.
Well, probably tried.
Tries to do porn. He did try to do porn. He was in porn and
Is he
shit.
tried now?
Apparently, his dick worked at the time, but he didn't make it in the porn industry
Yeah,
because
he tried. Like I said, he tried.
honestly,
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
nobody wants to see. Like, I think celebrity porn's like a very niche thing. Like, you want to see porn stars, people who are made for porn, and this Bobbit character was not made for porn. You know what I mean? He thinks he was, but he was not a
Yeah, it's
porn
the only way you
star.
get to see the scar on my dick. Like,
Right,
nigga,
right.
yo, be like, yo, nigga, that's the motherfucker got his dick cut off. Nigga, come look at this. I'm like,
You
nigga,
all
what the fuck
want
you
to
looking
see my
at?
dick star?
Yeah.
He got a dick scar? What? This guy got a dick star? He got a star on his dick? No, a scar. Oh, shit.
What happened? You got, oh, that's the nigga got his dick cut off. Ooh.
Like the uncle from The Lion King? No, like a scar from like when you got shot. Oh, okay, I got you.